morning. And a lot of folks are visiting the home as friends and family and sharing love. But still, when we lose a loved one very close to us, it's a very painful kind of a situation that we go through for a long, long time. As they say, the good Lord says, this too will pass. I remember my mother, my dad, and whatnot, when our family chain was broken. The bottom line is you tend to heal by way of your emotions. Your heart never totally heals. It's like a hole or a chunk out of your heart that will never, never heal when you lose close loved ones. Mom, dad, sibling, son, grandson, daughter, granddaughter. That's the way it is. But the bottom line is, although they're no longer here with us to be able to hold on and to show love and have those laughs and arguments or whatever it is we have as family, it's all in love of family. And the bottom line is that we deeply, deeply miss them and we mourn their loss. Each time I hear of this, such was the case, and I know, Harmon, you probably want to come in on this a little bit. Mrs. Wilda Hutt, the tragedy and the fact that she had gone home to be with the Lord, Gary Hutt's mother and the Hutt family. And I want to thank all of you who turned out down at the church the other day. I could not get in there, squeezed through the lobby up the steps of the folks standing all around on the steps, and I was going to try to push my way in there at the opportunity of someone wanting to fuss me down a little bit, Harmon, but I wanted to get in there. But it was so packed in that lobby, I just could not make it through the church. People all around the sides standing as I peeped through the window of the sanctuary. The bottom line is, though, and I seen some of everybody there, they turned out to show the love. They turned out to show the love. So having said that, to Brother Denny Perkins, to the Perkins family, to the Hutt family, and to all of those that have lost loved ones, you have our most sincere condolences. We love you dearly. We keep you in prayer. Keep your hand in God's hand, for He will see you through. And if you try to go the right way as best you can with this old earthly clay, and try to do the right thing, the godly thing, as best you can, as they say, you will see them again on the other side. Harmon, you were at People's Settlement, I think, after Jim Seals left and or with Jim. Mrs. Wilda Hutt worked at People's Settlement for a long, long time, and just a fantastic, beautiful lady. I never heard her, Harmon, speak above a whisper, and you may have down there when things got a little hot sometime and she had to step to the plate. But I never heard her. She was just a darling of a woman. And let me just say before going, Harmon, I wanted him here with me today. He didn't know what I was calling him in here for. One, I wanted to reconfirm to the world out in TV land our friendship, and that I really support Harmon, hold him in high esteem, and I stand by him 5,000%. I said that when I honored him some years back at the Martin Luther King dinner, invited him up at his table, and he was one of my surprise honorees. He thought he'd just come to sit up at his table. I whispered to Kirk to get his family there and whatnot. His dad and sister and his family was there. And we had a great time. But I did that then because of the hard and serious and great work that Harmon does as a historian and community leader and a former agency representative and whatnot. Great job back then, great job now. So Harmon, I just wanted to get you here. Didn't want nothing in particular, but to just reiterate that, because you kind of thought that I was mad at you about something because I was too tired and didn't want to talk to you. Come on, brother, in your own way.
Well, Herman, I do feel much better having heard your explanation of why I wasn't getting calls back.
It wasn't just you, brother.
And well, at least I'm in good company. And frankly, you said that my message almost made you cry when I listened to you a few minutes ago, and you were telling me everything that's on your plate, and you go to bed at 6 o'clock, and you're up at 4 o'clock, off and running. You almost made me cry, brother. I'm sorry I even left you a message. I won't do that anymore. I promise you. If it gets so, if it's so urgent that I have to see you, I'll just pop up
Come
where
on
you
by.
are.
There you
I
go.
ain't
There
leaving
you
you
go.
no more messages to add to your burden. But Herman, you certainly hit the nail on the head in your comments about Wilda Hutt, Mrs. Hutt. I sent a resolution to the funeral service. It was not read, but I hope that Gary and the family have had a chance to look at it. And in the resolution, which came from the board of directors on which Gary serves, the board of the African American Heritage Center, it was mentioned that she was like an angel. And in saying that, I wasn't complimenting her on being like the angel. I was really complimenting the angel for being like Mrs. Hutt.
All right, man.
Because she certainly did have angelic qualities. She was such a virtuous person. I never heard her speak above a whisper either. So you're not alone in that. She was much respected, much loved, and of course the tragic way that she ended her life, the shock of it all, makes us feel that we really have had two losses, not only Mrs. Hutt, but also if something isn't done to give to her daughter the help that she needs, she'll be lost too. Obviously, there was a problem. I don't have to be a psychiatrist to know that there was something very, very troubling and very disturbing going on with April, because she loved her mother so. So we just hope that she gets the help that she needs. So Gary, other members of the Hutt family, we join with the rest of the community in presenting to you our condolences.
Harmon, bring my guests in here sometime when I have no real agenda other than a lot of issues to kind of talk about that are of the community. Throw a couple things at you and let you respond. I want to go right to August Quarterly. Went down there and the folks are having a great time. The gospel singers are on the stage. They're really just uplifting the word of God in song, and I stayed long as I could. Then I had to run home, shower, and get ready to come to do my show. I talked to 2 or 3 of the older dudes sitting around in their lawn chairs and whatnot, went over kidding with them, Harmon, and asked them how long they've been down. They said they've been there quite a while, and said they're waiting on the mighty clouds of joy. Said they're not leaving till the mighty clouds of joy do their thing. I don't know if it was a large choir on the stage at that time, and they were really, getting down. Again, it's not too late, my friends. If you want to just turn TV off, and I'll excuse you. Won't be mad at you, and take off right down to the Harriet Tubman Park to enjoy some of that good gospel singing. And let me just say this. Make sure I get this right. Mama's in the kitchen. Mama's in the kitchen. They are on the left-hand side of the street, across the street from the park. 9 vendors up. 9 vendors up under tents. I counted them as I walked back to my car. Mama's in the kitchen. These folks got some food there. Just looking at it. Harm made me buy 2 platters, a spare rib platter and a barbecue chicken platter.
Herman, you did
the collard greens
is this
and
a peace
all
offering?
that.
One of those dinners?
Man, the food just it's the kind of food, Harmon, you could taste with your eyes. Mama in the kitchen, great big sign over top. Go by. I told him I was going to give him a little play when I come on. August Quarterly is alive and well. I want to thank Dr. Livingston and all those connected, Brother Moon and all of those that work so very hard every year to put on not only a very successful event of August Quarterly and Peter Spencer and all that, but to just keep the dream alive and keep pulling us together as we move to close out the summer. The churches and all the ministers that gather at the Chase Center and all the festivity that takes place. It's fantastic, and I hope that you've been a part of it. And if you haven't, you still got time to go down. Harmon, come on in your own way, August Quarterly.
Well, it certainly is an historic August Quarterly this year. They're recognizing the 200th Yes, 200th anniversary
Right, okay.
of August Quarterly. I'm active with a national organization of historians called the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And this is the organization founded by Carter G. Woodson, who started Negro History Week, which we now celebrate as Black History Month. When I would go to those conferences some years ago, 20, 25 years ago, people from all across the country would talk about the fact that they had a festival or a special festival-like event in their particular city, and that it was 50 years old or 75 years old. And I used to say, well, you know, August Quarterly, which we celebrate in Wilmington, is one of the oldest festivals in America. But as time went on, I began to realize it was not one of the oldest festivals, it was the oldest festival.
All right.
So this is something that we as Wilmingtonians and as Delawareans, and especially the leaders of the Mother Church and its members can be duly proud of. The independent church movement started by Peter Spencer, who, by the way, lived on the east side. I got to kick that in, Herman. The east side, which is Delaware's only community which has been designated by city council as an African American heritage zone. Spencer lived on the east side. We're not quite sure where, but we're going to find out where he lived. And he led the way, and he did something which I think is very, very relevant, Herman, to a current issue which this community faces. Peter Spencer walked out of Asbury Church. And the reason he walked out of the church is because he believed that African Americans should be entitled to worship their God in the way that they wanted to. He did not feel that they should comply with the dictates of the white ministers and leadership of Asbury, who wanted to tell them how they should pray and how they should worship God. I've tried to make the argument, and perhaps it's a frail argument, but I don't think so, that the whole matter having to do with the Heritage Center is like unto that. The Heritage Center project, which will now be under the control of the Historical Society of Delaware, is an affront. And I just believe that if Peter Spencer were alive today, he would lead the effort, and I'd follow him, in maintaining our right, our God-given right as African Americans to control our own history. There is a similarity to both of those issues. Some would want to make the distinction like one, the church situation is not like the other. But it's not about church. It's about pride. It's about dignity. It's about our right to worship our God in the way that we want to in the case of the church. And it's about our right as individuals, as black citizens, to recognize our leaders, our past, our heritage in the way that we want to as African Americans. And I just had to say that, Herman.
You know, Harmon, one, I share your concern. Number two, from where I sit, and I talked about earlier, working with those that you can work with. Number one, the Historical Society, the African American Historical Society, African American, what do you call it?
Heritage Center.
Heritage Center, get the name wrong. Has a very credible board, a very credible president. Jim Seals still president.
Absolutely.
Right? Former mayor Jim Seals is still the president. And I'm on the advisory board, and there are a lot of good folks there. Josie, Ruth Baker, others, a lot of good folks. Secondly, in my outcry for us to unite and come together, Harmon, to work the leadership